Dallas has just been on a tear. I believe we can attribute that to Jason Robertson. Also, Jake Ottinger, who's really stepped in.
Yeah, so we can compare a rookie QB to a toddler. Hayward's absence for this game will be significant, and I wouldn't be surprised if this game turns into a blowout as of late.
The Golden Knights just can't pull it. I really think the Avalanche are determined this year.
They made so many moves and grabbed so many guys that they have to win a championship or at least make the finals. They were on our championship and bust.
The same self, the only year he won an MVP was the year he cheated, which really should put something against that MVP. But
Yeah, and as a Cowboys fan, I have learned how dangerously good Aaron Rodgers has been with he can just thread a pass.
Hello, I am Ruby Ackerman, and you are listening to Outsider's Opinion with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. Make sure to check out our NBA opinions. I wish I could change my Mavs thing for not exceeding expectations, because after I said that, now they're fourth in the West.
I guess they heard you.
Yeah, so maybe it worked. But we're going to talk about NBA All-Star. The two players leading the fan vote, I believe, are for the West, LeBron James, and then in the East, Kevin Durant. But We're going to talk about our starters. I'm sure we're probably not going to agree on this because there are a lot of really good players. But we'll start with the West and go forwards. Austin, I'll let you name the three forwards.
I went Jokic, Sabonis, and LeBron. What about you?
That's what I did.
Wow. Okay. Well, I didn't go Anthony Davis, even though his stats were better, because he hasn't played enough games, and I think the same thing goes for Paul George. And what Sabonis has done without his through his hand injury, averaging 19, 12, and 7, that's really impressive. And he's a big reason why the Kings are doing so well.
What did you consider Lauri Markkanen?
I did, but this recent Jazz skid, even though he has still played well, and they've been really close in all their games, they're not losing by a lot. All these games, they lost to the Kings by a last-second shot by Fox, and then the tie shot didn't go in based on time. They lost on a buzzer beater to Tyler Hero in the Heat. They've lost a lot of games really close. They're still a good team and a team that I think will make the playoffs. However, the recent skid makes it to where I don't know if his stats are good enough to make him be a starter. Unlike LeBron, to where his stats are, even though the Lakers are not good, his stats are so good that he should be a starter.
I agree. And LeBron doing what he's doing at age 38 is incredible. And then Jokic, MVP candidate once again for his third year in a row. That's why I put him in. And then I felt the same way about Sabonis. Davis, I think, was just too injured. Paul George, I wasn't sure. But Sabonis, with Markkanen, he has more points, but he's mainly the guy, and they're not doing as great as the Kings, so that's why I kind of put Sabonis in, because they're winning, and he's still playing incredibly well.
Yeah, and that's too, like I said, a shattered thumb and hand. That is, I don't know how he can play with it, but strong hand or not.
So I'll go with my backcourt then, and it is Shai and Luka.
I agree. Shea and Luka was my two as well. So on the West, we went a perfect 5-for-5 equal. If we were a part of the voting cast, which obviously technically we are because we're fans and we can vote, our votes would be the exact same in the West. Shea, what a year. Now, I would pick Curry over him if Curry has been healthy the entire year, but what Shea has done has been remarkable. And then I don't really even have to talk for Luka. I think he kind of explains himself. That's why I didn't talk about Jokic either. It explains itself.
Yeah, and here's a crazy stat. Do you know how many Luka hasn't shot as many threes as he's done in the past few years, but he has a great 3-point percentage.
I don't know about great, but better, yeah.
I think it's his best since his rookie year is what I was listening to.
I believe that. I just know that, yeah, he's definitely getting better as a shooter. It's just that he's struggling, like he's shooting 35.9%, which is the best of his career. but 35.9% is good. It's just not great.
Yeah. Which I think like he's going to the rim more, which he's just incredible at, and he's getting more free throws. So, yeah, and then I agree with Shea is he's playing incredibly well. Thunder are playing well, and glad the Thunder are turning it around. So yeah, I'm surprised we agreed on the West. I'm pretty sure we won't agree on the East.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go first, and we'll go forwards again first. My 3 forwards are Embiid, Giannis, and Kevin Durant.
We agree.
Oh, we're 8 for 8, Kevin? This is impossible. What are we doing? We didn't. I swear
Where was
this
Tatum?
is scripted. Tatum was 4th. If there was a 4th spot, it would have been Tatum.
Yeah, I was. Maybe I'll just say my guards. I have Halliburton and Jaylen Brown.
I have Jaylen Brown and Donovan Mitchell.
Ooh.
I think Mitchell in the Cavs, without Garland being out, with Garland being out and other injuries, Donovan Mitchell's averaging almost 30. Again, if there was a 3rd guard spot, I would have put Halliburton. Halliburton was really close for me, but I went Mitchell. I think what Mitchell has done has been more impressive considering how many other scorers are right now on the Pacers, with Buddy Hield playing so well, Miles Turner playing so well, Benedict Mathurin as a rookie playing really well, Jalen Smith taking that next step. Halliburton has a lot of options, but Mitchell averaging 30 and him scoring 71 the other day. If I had to vote today, and I love Halliburton, Halliburton's one of the best young guards in the league, I would take Mitchell as the starter. That doesn't mean I believe he's a better player, but as a starter, what he's done this season to this point, bringing the Cavs where they are as a high seed in the East, I think it's been very impressive. But the Pacers have been amazing too, so I understand your pick. So we went 9 of 10.
Wow. Yeah, and that's why I didn't choose Tatum, because I was like, I have one Celtic, and I think Jaylen Brown's having a career year, and Durant's just playing well, and Nets are doing really well. So I didn't want to put Tatum over Durant because I didn't want 2 Celtics in. And then Halliburton, I picked over Mitchell. While Mitchell was doing great, I just think Halliburton really has stepped up, and the Pacers are doing really well. And then, yeah, those are the guards. I had a tougher time picking guards in the East than the West because Curry was injured, so I'm like, I'm going to put Shea and Luka. But, wow. Yeah, I'm surprised we only disagreed on 1.
Yeah, I was shocked. I did not think we were going to agree with Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is, I think, more important to the Celtics than Tatum. And obviously that's a very hot take, and I understand if you didn't necessarily disagree with that, but I feel like Brown affects the game in more aspects than Tatum does, and that's how I felt for the entirety of Brown's career, and I really think he deserves a starting nod.
Yeah, I agree, and I think Jaylen Brown, one of my favorite players. He's so good at to me, he can play on ball and have the ball in his hands, but he can also play off ball, which I think is a great thing when playing with a player like Tatum. They also have Brogdon, so Jaylen is not the main facilitator, because we saw the Celtics were really missing a true point guard in the finals because they had so many turnovers. And I think Brogdon has helped, and his 3-point percentage is great, and he's averaging the most points so far in his career. I think his 3-point percentage is actually a little bit lower. It's only 33%, so not so good. But to me, he's a great player, and I think a great piece for the Celtics. And I can see why you would argue he's more important than Tatum. But yeah, so yeah, I'm hoping they do this, but they probably won't. I don't think they've changed the fan vote, so I wouldn't be surprised if Markkanen comes in or Devin Booker for a starter. What do you think?
I wouldn't like that because I feel like the players we mentioned are better and more deserving. Booker's missed a lot of time with injury. I feel like it's disingenuous to put him in over Shea or Luka, even though the Suns are a better team than both of those teams. So, despite that fact, or at least while Booker's playing there, they're better. But I like the choices we made. I would be hesitant to see those. There's a couple other guys that I was close with. that I would like to see start, but I don't necessarily think they have enough power. Because again, what Shea is doing is remarkable, and at this point in the league, there's not enough defense right now. Everyone's putting up 30. Mitchell put up 71. Like a guy I'd love to see get a All-Star nod is De'Aaron Fox or some of these other guys that are really big for the reason why they are.
I was
Their team
hoping
was so good.
for Brandon Ingram. I don't think he started last year, right?
Brandon Ingram didn't make the All-Star game last year, so
Wow. Okay.
he
He's
made it the year
someone-
before that.
Yeah.
No, he didn't make it the year before that. He made it the year before that. He
Oh,
made it
really?
in 1920.
What do you mean 2020?
1920.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we've had this conversation before with the 1920.
Yeah, it's the 1920 season.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's injuries for me, and then Zion was close, but injuries for him as well. Yeah, I was just pointing out Devin Booker and Markkanen, just because of the fan vote, because last year Andrew Wiggins was a starter, and I don't think they've changed that. Correct?
No, the fan vote still doesn't make up 100%, but it makes up a large enough percentage that if the player's just decent and getting some some like coach or player recognition, they could make it. But like for example, Fox, he's shooting over 50% from the field this year, 24, 6, and 5. He's been very good, very clutch, but like I don't even know if he's gonna get an All-Star nod because of how many guards are really good in the West right now. Like who do you give it to? And there's still a long time before we get there, and a case will be made for a lot of these players on the fringes, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I'll review and submit this, and this will count toward All-Star voting. And I think we'll end it there. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions. Make sure to check out our previous NBA video and all their other videos, and we'll talk to you next time.